Welcome back to your favorite Fundamentals College Math class, you guys. We're gonna, we've been talking about the U.S. customary system and the metric system, and now we're gonna convert between those systems, between those two. So, for example, there's 2.5 centimeters in every inch, and they're about 0.9144 meters in a yard, and so on. So this is how we'll go back and forth. And here's also how you go back and forth with your temperature conversions as well. Okay, so let's do this first one here. Olympic sprinter competes in the 400-meter dash. Well, how many yards is the race? Well, for every 1 yard, we have 9.9144 meters. So let's write this out. We have 400 meters, and we want the meters to cancel. So for every yard, there's 0.9144 meters. And notice our meters cancel. Of course, this is over 1. So now we're going to go ahead. 400 times 1 is 400. 1 times 0.9144. And we're in yards. And then I go ahead and divide that with my calculator. And let's say we take that to the nearest hundredth. So I look at the 4 right there. Look to the right, it's a 5, so I'll bump that up. We've got patient, it's got to be way prior to surgery, so the proper dosage of anesthesia can be given. The nurse weighs a patient, finds that he weighs 205 pounds. Patient weighs 205 pounds. But the anesthesiologist wants in kilograms. What's the patient's weight in kilograms? So we know for every 1 kilogram, it's 2.20462 pounds. Or if you want, you could also use for every 1 pound, it's 0.4536 kilograms. You could also use that as well. Well, we want the pounds to cancel, so let's go ahead and get the pounds on the bottom. For every kilogram, there's 2.20462 pounds. See how our pounds are canceling. And we got 205 times 1 is 205 over 2.20462 times 1 is 2.20462. Now we're in kilograms. We go ahead and divide that. Or about 92.99. So about 93 kilograms. This would be a good time to pause the video, make this a you try it problem. I'll give you a little information on this first though. For every gallon, you got 3.785 liters, right? So you're going to a potluck at work, you're asked to bring 5 gallons of lemonade. When you go to the storage container, lemonade, it says it will make 6 liters. So how many containers do you need to buy? All right, let's check your work. This first step I say is, if I have 5 gallons, how many liters am I needing to make? There's 3.785 liters per 1 gallon. Notice my gallons cancel, so I got 5 times 3.785, so we got 18.925 liters. All right, so that's how many liters I need to make. Now the question is, well, how many containers do I need to buy? Right, I've got 18.925 liters that I need to make, and 1 container of this lemonade powder or whatever makes 6 liters. So we divide that 18.925 over 6. That tells me how many containers. So 3.15416 repeated containers. So if I buy 3 containers, I'll be a little bit short. So I actually have to buy 4 containers to make sure that I can make at least 5 gallons. All right, we'll do some temperature conversions now. There's 3 systems for measuring temperature. Kelvin is used in the sciences oftentimes. We're going to focus on just our Fahrenheit and Celsius. Of course, in the U.S., we're going to use Fahrenheit. Most everybody else uses Celsius, right? Similar to metric. So here's our conversions. If you want to go Fahrenheit to Celsius, use that bottom one. If you want to do Celsius to Fahrenheit, use the top one. So here's example 4. Your front yard's full of weeds. You decide to spray it with a weed killer, and the bottle. Oops. The bottle weed killer that you purchased says, do not apply temperatures below 18 or above 32 Celsius. What are the corresponding temperatures in Fahrenheit? So we want to convert those. Let's do the 18 degrees Celsius. Let's convert it to Fahrenheit. So Celsius to Fahrenheit. So I'm going to use this top one right there. So I got F equals 9/5 C plus 32. Fahrenheit's what I'm solving for. So I have 9/5. My temperature is in 18 degrees Celsius. Right, so it's 18 right there. Plus 32. And then I go 9 times 18 divided by 5. That'll give me 32.4. Then I add the 32. So I end up with 64.4 degrees. That's my Fahrenheit, right? It'll be 64.4 degrees Fahrenheit. So 18 degrees Celsius is 64.4 degrees. So we don't want to apply it below that amount. We also don't want to apply this above 32 degrees Celsius. So we want to convert that to Fahrenheit as well. So 9/5 C plus 32. So we got 9/5 times 32 plus 32. So 9 times 32 is whatever, divided by that 5. And I get 57.6. So I add those together and it looks like I get 89.6 degrees Fahrenheit. Right, so we want to, when you apply it, you got to be less than 89.6 degrees Fahrenheit and more than 64.4 degrees Fahrenheit when you apply it, the weed killer, for it to be effective. Let's do another one here. When leaving the hospital with a sick child, told to return if her temperature exceeds 101.5. When you get home, you discover the thermometer is only in Celsius. At what temperature in Celsius would you need to return the child to the hospital? So we have 101.5 degrees Fahrenheit. I want it in Celsius. So I'm going to use the other one. Celsius is 5/9 F minus 32. We're given the F here. Now I'm going to good time to pause the video and try this problem. So you should have thrown in your 101.5 for your Fahrenheit. You subtract it from 32 and you get 69.5, which is over 1. Now you multiply 69.5 times 5 and you divide it all by, which is 347.5 divided by 9 times 1. And so you end up with 38.61 repeated, right? So 38.61 degrees Celsius, that's 101.5 degrees in Fahrenheit. All right, we're going to get into using rates and unit rates and some more dimensional analysis. Let's look at this first example as an introduction. Your car can drive 300 miles on a tank of gas. That's our rate. We want to express it as a rate and then a unit rate. So what's our rate? They just told us I can go 300 miles per tank of 15 gallons, right? Per tank of gas, per 15 gallons. Okay? Now, what would this be as a unit rate? Well, unit rate means per 1 gallon. Per 1 gallon. So if I was to make this as a unit rate, I would just make sure I divide it. I want a 1 on the bottom, right? So I'm dividing this by 15. Now, 300 divided by 15, lucky for us, goes very cleanly. 300 divided by 15 is 20. So it's 20 over 1. Same thing as 20, right? But if you're not sure what you're doing, like if it doesn't go cleanly, you're dividing this by 15 and the top divided by 15. And that's how you get, so 300 divided by 15, 20 miles. 15 over 15 is 1 gallon, right? But again, the rate was 300 miles for 15 gallons. The unit rate means I can go in my car 20 miles per gallon, right? The unit rates are nice. You know, that's what's on your, if you go to the grocery store, they're giving you the unit rate, right? And so that you can compare prices of things, you know, like, oh, it's 7 cents per ounce or whatever, but this soda is 9 cents per ounce or whatever, right? They're giving you the unit rate so you can make comparisons there. This is a good you try it problem. Find the following unit rates for 6 pounds. All right, so you have your 6 pounds for $5.29. Time to pause the video. So you do that division and you get 1.134. I'll round it to that pounds per dollar, all right, per $1. So this is the unit rate, pounds per dollar. So what if we were doing dollars per pound instead? What if we were doing that unit rate? So we know it's $5.29 for every 6 pounds. Oops. Then I'd just take the 529 divided by 6, and I'd get 0.8816666, so about 88 cents per pound. That's my unit rate if I was in pounds, dollars per pound. Right? Unit rate. All right, let's do another car one. Your car can drive 300 miles on a tank of gas, we said. So we can go 300 miles on a tank, and the tank is 15 gallons. Right. In other words, we already did this. We know it's 20 miles per gallon. Okay, there's our unit rate. We get 20 miles per gallon. Step one. Because we're trying to figure out how far can we drive on 40 gallons. So how far if I buy 40 gallons of gas? Well, I use my unit rate. I can go 20 miles per gallon times, I'm going 40, I'm using 40 gallons. So how many gallons cancel? So it looks like 20 times 40, we can go 800 miles. All right? Since I get 20 miles per gallon, we can go 800 miles. But how many gallons would be needed to go 50 miles? Well, we want to go 50 miles, and so we're going to use our unit rate. For every gallon, we go 20 miles. Now, I don't want to go 20 miles per gallon because see how my miles don't cancel? So instead, I got to go the other way around. For every gallon, I can go 20 miles. See how my miles cancel? Now tell me how many gallons I need. So 50 divided by 20 gallons. In other words, 2.5 gallons. Makes sense, right? So we got a bicycle. Bicycle travels 15 miles per hour. So they're giving us the unit rate here, 15 miles per hour. How many feet will it cover in 20 seconds? How many feet? So what they want this, if I cover 15 miles an hour, what would that be in feet per second? Right? What would that be in feet per second? Well, let's do the distance part first. Miles to feet. Miles to feet. I know there's 5,280 feet in a mile. 5,280 feet in 1 mile. So now, can you see how we're in feet per hour? Now I'm in feet per hour on this. But I don't want feet per hour. I want feet per second, right? But I know for every hour, for every 1 hour, I know I have 60 minutes. And now, see how my hours cancel? So now I'm in feet per minute. I mean, feet per minute. I'm almost there. I don't want feet per minute. I want feet per second. I want feet per second. So I know for every 1 minute, there's 60 seconds. See how my minutes cancel. And finally, I'm left in, I'm in feet per second. I just got to multiply all this junk out, right? But I'm in feet per second. So I got 15 times 5,280, whatever this is. I don't know what that is. Oops, 5,280 times 1 times 1. And then on the bottom, I got 1 times 1 times 60 times 60. I know 60 times 60 is 3600. I do know that. And now I'm just going to punch this in. I'm in feet per second. And that'll end up giving me 22 feet per second. So that's my unit rate. Now I'm in feet per second. So part 2, how many feet will I cover in 20 seconds? If I can go 22 feet per second on my bike in 20 seconds, how many feet would I cover? Well, 22 times 20 ends up being, I would cover 440 feet over that 20-second period. And we have our answer to that. So this next one, we're walking through a hardware store, and there's a couple different types of tubing. Tubing A, 3 yards of tubing costs $5.49. Tubing B, $1.88 per 2 feet, for 2 feet, right? So we want the unit rate on this. We want the unit rate. And so let's do it in dollars per yard. So let's do tubing A. It's $5.49 for 3 yards, dollars per yard. All right, so I go ahead, $5.49 divided by 3. I get $1.83 per yard. Okay, so I want to compare tubing B. I also want that in dollars per yard. Well, the problem is I'm in dollars, $1.88 per foot. Right? Per 2 feet. 2 feet. We want in dollars per yard, right? To compare dollars per yard. Well, we know there's 3 feet for every 1 yard. And now we'll be in dollars per yard. So 3 times 1.88 on the top, all divided by that 2 on the bottom. That'll give us $2.82 per yard. So who's the better deal? $1.83 per yard. Tubing A is going to be the better deal. All right, tubing A is less expensive. So unit rates are very nice to help us compare. All right, last one, we'll do a currency conversion here. Cost of gasoline in Arizona is about $2.05 per gallon. So I've got in Arizona $2.05 per gallon. All right, when you travel over the border, gas costs 14.81 pesos per liter. Pesos per liter. Okay. Where's the gasoline more expensive? And we'll use this current. We'll say that for every dollar, $1 is 18.68 pesos. I don't know what it is right now, but at the time of this printing, it was that of the book. So $1 per 18.68 pesos. So let's go ahead and convert this. I know there's 18.68 pesos. per $1. See how my dollars are canceling on this? And my dollars cancel. And I'm left with pesos per gallon. Pesos per gallon. Now, I don't want it in per gallon. I do want pesos, but I don't want it per gallon. I want it per liter to compare, right? Pesos per liter. So I got to do another conversion. So I'm going to have to go, well, for every gallon, there's how many liters? And I'd look it up, 3.78541 liters. So for every gallon, there's 3.78541 liters. And so then I multiply. I've got 2.05 times 18.68 times 1 over 1 times 1 times 3.78541. And remember, we're now in pesos per liter. And I punch that in and I get 10.116 pesos per liter. So where is it more expensive? It looks like at this time, with this currency, it was more expensive in Mexico, right? Cheaper in Arizona in terms of pesos per liter. Well, thanks so much for watching, and take a note. See you next time.